Okay. We are back to the warehouse for interview season. We are chatting with the best defender and dancer in the warehouse today. Let's talk blitzball. Welcome to the Blitzball Boys, the podcast about blitzball and boys, but lately about blitzball. I'm your co-host, Brendan Ruppel, along with my fellow host, Peter Del Rey.
Hey, Brendan, how we feeling tonight?
I'm feeling great. How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Feel a little better if you hit a little bit of fucking music for me.
All right.
Today on the pod, we have the man repping San Diego. He's coming in at 6'5", 355 pounds. He's the king of San Diego warehouse sports. We got Ryan Cohen.
Whoa!
Pump the music, Brendy.
Pump the ladder, baby. That's over.
Cabron de San Diego.
Wow.
The height was a lot closer of a guess than the weight.
I was gonna say, like, the heightening of the joke was interesting because it went like not that far away from how tall he is, and then it got really big.
So I thought about it this morning. I was like, on my drive to work. So I've had this plan for a while, right? Rey Mysterio, super famous San Diego person, theme song 619, right? I'm like, all right, I gotta introduce Ryan with this. Do I go for the accurate guess of probably, my guess would probably be like 6'2", 215, or do I go way off? And it's like, I kind of fucked it up because I wanted to say 6'9" to go with 6'19", but I panicked. I got nervous. Pretty classic.
Pretty classic.
And then I said I have to make up for it. 355. Okay, go.
6'2", 215. That was your guess. Yes.
I'll say 6'1". 6'2" would be your baseball card. 6'1" is actual, and I'll give you 205.
Firm 6'2". You nailed that. 185.
185. Slim.
Little later.
185.
Yeah,
wow.
I thought the height would give you some heavy bones
For
or
last
something.
measurement, which was probably Christmas. So who knows?
Oh, you do your annual Christmas physical?
Well, my childhood bathroom has the scale. So when I was home at my parents' house, I was like, "Oh, let's see if this still works."
Let's see what I got.
So Ryan, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Very excited
Pleasure,
to talk to you. I feel like you're one of the few guys in the warehouse that doesn't really get to have his fair share of like speaking roles. I mean, that's what happens when you're just the fielder for one of the flagship events and then playing in Captain's League as well, obviously. But that's 3 less events for you, or 2 less events for you to talk in. We're stoked about this. Before we get into questions, Brendy.
Oh, I almost
opening
forgot.
Question.
What did you have for dinner tonight?
I haven't eaten yet, but I have some leftover Chinese in the fridge.
Okay. What do you got in there?
My girlfriend was here this weekend. She had some vegetable lo mein, and then I had some chicken lo mein. So I think I'm just going to mash it all up together.
Just
and
half
make it
chicken,
one
half
big
vegetable.
thing.
Huge.
That's great. That's also a very good leftover item because it's like not one of the fried things which are hard to reheat, but lo mein's so easy to reheat. It's perfect.
Very easy. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So don't take too long here. I'm hungry too.
Okay, sure. We'll keep it to 3 hours.
For those listening, I'm joking. You take as long.
So Brendan and I were talking with you before we started recording, but we met you in person in your first week on the East Coast, moving over here, when we went to go see, what was that, Blitzball Blitz live in the warehouse. Can you walk us through your whole journey making the decision to come from California to the New York, New Jersey area, and then eventually how you got to, I was going to say St. John's. Fuck.
You're obsessed, Peter.
I was at the game yesterday, dude. I'm stoked. We crushed UConn. But how you got to John Boy.
Yeah. This might be a little bit rambly, so apologies in advance.
Ramble away.
Please ramble as much as you can.
We'll try and interrupt you as much as we can.
People are here for you, not for us.
So I was a huge John Boy Media fan in college and before. I loved Jimmy's breakdowns. I'm talking baseball. I just was a huge fan. I thought they covered baseball in a way that no one else did, and I love baseball more than anything. So that's where it started. Was I just became like a super fan of the company essentially. And when I graduated college, I was trying to think about the things I wanted to do, and I I was at home for a little bit after college with my parents, and kind of I was like running summer camps and doing like different things, and then I went on the show Wheel of Fortune and won a little bit of
Oh,
money.
Hell
okay.
And
yeah.
I didn't expect this
when
part of the
you're
story.
when you're in college or like right out of college, and $10 seems like a lot, the like
Hmm.
17 grand or whatever I won on the show may as well have been ten
That's
million
amazing.
dollars.
Yeah.
So I looked at my parents, and I just graduated college, and I was like, hey, I know I don't really want to live at home. I know you guys don't want me here either.
Like, I'm rich. This is my
I can
house now.
either like kind of, and I was like, I can either travel and pay rent somewhere I'm not going to be, or like have a little bit of travel experience and like move out by the end of summer. And my mom was very gracious and said, okay, that's fine. So I got to do a bunch of like different travel. I was in Asia for a little while. I was all over Europe for a bit. Road trips. It was great. It was awesome.
Hmm.
Dope.
I ran some summer camps in San Diego, and it got to the point in July of 23 where I was like, love San Diego. Things are good here, but I really want to like try and do something kind of nuts and like use the rest of these quote unquote savings
Uh-huh.
that won in a 20-minute span of my life. And I had worked my ass off that summer with summer camp, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go to New York and see if this John Boy dream will work out. And
Before you go on
I
too
had met
too
a
far,
couple of
I will
people.
say that like
Yeah,
summer camp count like that makes so much sense. Like knowing your personality from the
dude,
internet, like that you
I
have such good summer
loved
camp
it.
energy.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. I loved it. I mean, it was so much fun. It's all consuming, and
Yeah.
I had this love for baseball and this thing that I thought I could be good at and try and do, and I wanted to at least try that, knowing I could like come back and work with kids in
Right.
the long run, which I still want to do, and I'd love to be
Sure.
a teacher one day or something like that. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna move out to New York. I'll figure it out. I had met a few of the John Boy Media people at an event in LA and kind of stayed in touch here and there. And then when I moved out here, I was like, hey, I'm here. Hello. Basically, like, can I have a job? And they were like, no, what? Of course
Like, get
not.
the fuck
All
out of
right, I'm
here.
just gonna keep hanging around then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I had enough of a relationship where they invited me to the warehouse, and then my big break was that they needed someone local who, and I'm using this very, very liberally, but was athletic enough to play in the warehouse for the Captain's League, which had never happened. So I got a text from Jimmy when I was home for Thanksgiving in 2023, and like, hey, need someone. Are you interested? And I was like, let me think about it, but going like, hell
Like
yeah, hell
fuck
yeah,
you. Oh
hell
my
yeah, hell
god.
yeah. Yeah. So got to play in the Captain's League, and then this position opened up that I have now, where I help run Jimmy and Jake's
That's
social media
crazy.
accounts.
I thought you had been working there
I love the job. So.
before Captain, like because we knew of you from like the stands and stuff like that. And we like we said we had met you briefly, but I assumed you had like a job working with social media before that, and then like oh well I guess he's here, might as well throw him a Captain's League.
No, I'd filmed ball and play, and I believe slap ball in season one
Mm-hmm.
before I got hired, and
That's
then
nuts. I didn't
floor
realize.
ball and blitz ball. I was a full time employee, and then obviously anything since the end of Captain's League last year. Yeah,
Wow.
so I love it. I miss California. I miss San Diego. I miss my friends, my family, and all that. But
Yeah.
I'm really happy to be
Still
here and
yeah,
doing this
crazy
while I'm
ride.
young and having fun. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm
And
sure you miss San Diego this time of year
oh
too.
god, yeah. Yeah.
It's my best friend at home just sent me a picture from the beach and 74 degrees. God, bro.
You say, yeah, well, we
Today it was like
fucking
45, and I
we
thought it
broke
was
Yeah.
so
50.
warm.
It was
Yeah.
summer today. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Walked around without a jacket for the first time in 6 months.
Yeah, so you mentioned slap ball, and I mean, I'm just still like dumbfounded by that. That's crazy that you like played slap ball with those guys before you were you worked played this made up sport with these dudes. You were good at that pretty immediately. How'd you feel about that?
To go back on it really quick,
Yeah.
the weirdest part was I was playing these sports with them and like trying to get to know them, but they all like work in the office together, and everyone's super sweet and nice, and
Oh
like
yeah.
no one's fault. But obviously I don't know them as well. Like it'd be impossible.
Right.
I'm trying to kind of nice and normal, but not be like too aggressive. Of like I love
Sure.
you. So it's this weird balance. Then the weirdest part was I went home for the holidays in 2023, and I'd post like random little videos of a slap ball thing or a blitz ball, whatever.
Uh huh.
And people would be like, "Dude, you have the coolest job in the world." I'm like, "Oh,
I don't know.
I'm unemployed.
Don't have a
Like, I
job.
don't
No,
have
no, no, no,
that at
no,
all."
no.
Yeah. So
That makes
it's
a
been
lot of
a
sense.
lot more
That's
fun
the
to go home
exact same
now.
opportunity, a thing we had going on when we went to the warehouse. That day we saw you, we were both like, "This is really cool. They're so nice," but like, we're at someone's job right now, and they're all coworkers, and like, this isn't. It was definitely an odd feeling, and we felt that day for sure.
Yeah. And again, like no one's fault. Like I told, and
Oh
especially
yeah,
now that I'm on the other end of it, it is work, and I know it's
yeah,
silly and it's hard to seriously take it as a work day, but
Right.
that's what I'm paid to do that day. So I do
yeah.
have to like take it serious and make sure we are
But you're also
producing
paid to
quality
like
content. So
make it good and like look like you are having fun too. It's entertainment.
it's hard to fake that, dude. It's hard to
Yeah,
fake the
yeah, yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, we're having a good time. And yeah, I mean,
Wow.
slapball I was really happy about because home play was my first sport. I don't watch cricket. I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Mhm.
I was nervous. Like Jimmy John Boy is like pitching to me. I'm going, oh my God, it's fucking John Boy. So I was so excited that slap ball I felt like I was decent at. And that's when I started to really feel comfortable and not just this random kid who showed up to play with all the big boys.
Yeah,
I started to fit in and now I'm obviously
yeah.
friends with everyone and super, super comfortable. But slap ball is when I felt like it took a turn for me.
Peter, what happened to you when Jimmy first threw a blitz ball to you?
Stop it. We're not talking about this.
Peter famously not nervous.
I got nervous. I have a very questionable strategy when batting in blitzball, where I choke up on the bat, and when I swing, I like loosen it a little so it could slip down if I feel like the ball is trailing out to the far side, and I threw a bat across the warehouse.
The first swing.
Jimmy loves when the bats are going flying. I'm sure he
Nice.
really likes that.
I said, Jimmy goes, "Oh, are you all right?" I go, "Yeah, I'm not going to bat anymore." He goes, "You sure you can?" I go, "No, I think I'm done. I can't. This is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me. I'm sorry. I can't. I need to go."
That is a really interesting strategy, by the way. It's like very video gamey of you. Just like whenever I can extend the bat's length, I can.
Brendan, I cannot stress this enough. I do this every time I play blitzball at home with my friends. I have never let the bat out of my hands.
Yeah, actually,
I don't know if it's because it was so warm and I decided to wear jeans that day in the warehouse or what. Like my hands were sweaty. I don't know, but it went flying, and I said, "I want to go home right now."
It was really funny. It was really funny.
It was very funny.
Weirdest part of blitzball for me, swing wise, is I played baseball my whole life, and that is just not the swing.
Right.
It looks the same, but it's baseball. You're trying to like use your legs and power. Use the power that your body creates to create torque on the ball and hit it far. Literally, all you have to do in blitzball is like make contact with it and hope it goes high enough.
Get the barrel.
So it just, even now, like I've played however many games, however many hours in that warehouse, and I still an 0-2 count and I get really long. And that's not
can't get long. You can't have any load, no load whatsoever.
It's just timing. That's the only thing that matters. Can you time it right? And I still struggle with that, dude. It's hard.
Yeah, it is very hard. So you played baseball your whole life. Like what level, more or less, have you played? Because you
played through.
Competent.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I was a varsity baseball player.
Nothing more.
Yeah. Definitely not a superstar. I was a varsity level baseball player, but I was never like big leagues were the dream in little league when I was a little league all-star, but it didn't go much past that. Yeah, I was a really weird kid in that even at like 6 years old, I loved playing little league and I loved watching baseball more. I mean, I just wanted to watch the Padres. That's the only thing I ever enjoyed. And my parents aren't big baseball fans. I just loved it, and then now it's turned into a career. It's awesome, but I liked playing because I felt like I had to in a lot of ways, but I always...
If I love watching it so much, I have to love playing the game itself.
And I did like playing, but baseball's so hard, dude. Like, you strike out, it's just, fuck.
Demoralizing that you gotta wait, like, your turn. Yeah. That's why I like playing blitzball, too.
Maybe 3 more times.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
A lot more fun when you're really good in Little League. It's a lot harder in high school.
Yes, all the way to varsity, that's pretty intense, too. What position did you play?
I was a shortstop for the most part, and then my childhood best friend Brendan Crow was better than me by the time we were seniors, so he was the shortstop and I was the second baseman.
Fair enough.
At least you're still playing. So like
That's right. I'm a professional athlete now. So
then you are a professional
That's
athlete, famously San Diego's best warehouse athlete.
That's true.
my girlfriend does not like when I use that line. I sometimes I'm like, come on, I'm a professional athlete.
Come on.
You
Come
gotta
on,
let
babe.
me, you gotta let me do it. She is not a fan of it.
Please try not to get starstruck, babe. It's okay. I understand. I would
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. She doesn't care at all.
Tell her how much the ladies online love the mustache.
I'll send her the comments. Don't worry.
So, with blitzball, there is that little bit of transferability with baseball to blitzball, and in terms of defense, for sure. In terms of like pitching, with the other sports, I don't know if you have hockey background. You already said you didn't play cricket. All right, that's a no hockey background. And then slapball,
From San Diego.
I guess if you listen, floor hockey's a thing. So is roller hockey. All right, cool. So then there's also, I assume, the most quote unquote slap ball experience you had is like most people roughly our age. I don't know how young you are. I'm certain you're not that much younger than. You probably played team handball, European handball in high school gym class, right? So like,
Something
what was
similar,
it like?
yeah.
Right. What was it like having to go into these sports where you're like, I got no fucking clue what's going on right now?
Well,
Take us
the
through that.
cool thing with slapball was that I was at the training sessions where we were trying to come up with the rules and understand how it would look on camera, and like we really did. And by we, I mean Jimmy and Jack Doyle and a few other people, and I was a body running around. But we really did come up with the sport. So I felt a lot better in that one because, hey, no one had practiced more than me. Like we
Yeah,
couldn't have
that's
practiced
true.
something that didn't exist. And I feel like, I'm definitely athletic enough in that warehouse where if we're all learning something for the first time, I can be competent in it. It's a lot harder for me to get good at the sports that someone like I just mentioned Doyle, like facing him in blitzball, I just don't see the blitzball. So
Right.
that's a lot harder for me. Whereas in slapball, we both kind of learned it at the same time, and then it's just a matter of who can pick it up quicker. And I felt like I was pretty good at it pretty early.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Did you get gassed out in floorball first time you played?
Floorball is the single most exhausting thing I've ever done in my life.
Well, they seem like they also
I
like to
loved
play
it.
it in August in that warehouse too. It seems to be their favorite
Well,
month to
and we
play it in.
have to because any hockey creator isn't free in the winter because that's when
Right.
hockey is. So
Right.
we want to grow it and make sure people are watching and all that, and it's successful and it's great. But we have to have hockey people to do that, and
Yeah.
hockey people aren't available during hockey season, so
Yeah.
it gets really hot. But floorball was. I literally never picked up a hockey stick. So at first I was, Luke O'Brien, Jimmy's little brother, is like, dude, just hold it like this and maybe try running like that. And I certainly wouldn't have called myself good, but I felt like I improved a ton from game one through the championship in slapball last year because I really had no idea what I was doing until about game 4 or so.
Uh-huh. Oh, man. It just seems like at least you're athletic enough where you're a person that can run back and forth and play some defense. That's valuable. It's valuable enough.
Yeah, we found a way to provide some value. I think the funnier part with floorball was you hang out with your friends outside of work, and I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. I'm like, well, what'd you do? I'm like, I don't know. I played like field hockey in a warehouse, kind of. Like, yeah. It's really hard to explain what I do for work to someone who's never met me.
Yeah, say that to like a teacher. They'd just be so mad.
Seriously, yes. Explaining it to adults, like real adults, like aunts and uncle level adults, is the hardest. I
like the way you define adult, because that is very cartoon of you. But I agree with you.
It's a funny thing to explain. And then they're thinking, people watch this? I go, yeah, like
oh yeah,
a lot of people do watch it. It's pretty wild.
I mean, God bless you for even trying to explain to them. You know what I mean?
I guess you don't.
Like I'm straight up. I'm an accountant, and I don't even like explaining my job to people. And let alone people who are just like, what do you mean? Like, there's a need for this.
With my job, like what people see me on camera is such a slim portion of what I actually do all day. Like, most of my day is on Premiere, like editing videos, and I enjoy that too. Don't get me wrong, but that is not nearly as quote unquote glamorous and like exciting as the diving catch that I post on my Instagram story. So when I go home or talk to someone, they're like, "Dude, your job's a joke." I'm like, no, like I do work hard too. Like there is actual work in there, but there are certainly fun aspects to it.
Well, that and the fact that, you do have to be entertaining if you're on camera as well, And like, granted, you may be the exception to the rule where it comes very, very natural to you. We've seen this in almost every time we see you online to just have these big reactions to things. You're a very enthusiastic guy. We absolutely
passionate.
love it as viewers. I was telling Brendan, I've seen people online claim you fake it. Like you said before, it's kind of fucking hard to fake.
Yeah.
Like, think about how exhausting that would be. It's like, I'm let's take me, 32-year-old guy. So I'm gonna tell my friend, hey, why don't you record me as I fucking scream until I go hoarse, jumping up and down, just for shits and gigs, right?
Yeah.
And then I go home and I'm like, fuck, why did I do that? Nobody does that.
One of my like biggest truths in my whole life is that you can't fake passion. And I'll take the Padres, for example. Like, is it obsessive and ridiculous? 100%. And when people are like, oh, you're overreacting, it's like, yeah, dude,
Yeah.
I am.
That's what a fan
I
is.
also have no other hobbies. Like, I don't, this is the only thing I care about. So like, is it ridiculous? Sure. But the fact that you think I'm doing it for the camera, I'm chiller if I know there's a camera on me because I don't want to look like a ridiculous.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm trying to contain myself.
Anyone that's been around me for 5 minutes, I think it's pretty obvious that I can't fake it 24/7.
That's what
Right.
they'll always come to your defense like that, and like people from JM will like say like, dude, if you knew him, you'd know this is just who the guy who you know.
Right.
There are plenty of insults that can hurt me. The he's a fake fan or like he's doing this for the camera is just not even
It's
close.
almost a nice
to
thing.
true.
Like, okay,
And
cool.
if you think I chose being a fan of the San Diego Padres to get internet clout, that'd be the dumbest route of all time.
Right.
Like, come on, like that. It's just.
I don't know, Ryan.
I
it
honestly
looks like
take this
you
kind of a badge of-
identified a niche. You said nobody
I
else
guess
is in this
Maybe,
market.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's one of those things where, and the same thing in like a JM baseball trivia video when someone's like, "Oh, Ryan's cheating." It's like, "Oh, you think I'm so smart that I'm cheating?" Like that, it's
Hey,
kind of
it's a compliment.
in a
Yeah, it
weird,
really
backhanded
is.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, you're a fan of two things:
I'm sure I annoy
baseball
people,
and
but whatever.
fucking jumping media, and it just shows in jumping
Hit
media in the
dog,
warehouse too. Yeah.
Family, friends, baseball, and I like to read.
And
so
lo mein.
that's about
Yeah.
it.
There you go.
Chicken lo mein. Yeah.
So we absolutely love how much passion you put into the warehouse sports. Like we said, this is a TV show. I don't know if we said that. But
That's a good way to explain it to like the aunts and uncles, by the way.
yeah, it's a
Yeah,
TV show. Oh, so it's scripted? No. Just wait.
Heavily
we,
scripted.
We really do play. It's heavily scripted. It's not just scripted. Heavily.
Those are another genre of comments I love. Like, oh, this was so clearly scripted. You don't understand how competitive we are. Like, we all want to win so bad. You think I would give half of a goal to BBD? You're out of your damn
Whoever
mind.
that
Like,
is.
get out of here. Yeah. No way.
Do you
Sorry,
see how
I love you. I don't
pissy
know
Jimmy
if you
gets?
can
Jimmy
do
gets
this.
so fucking mad at himself.
Yeah. There's no way we could script that. Especially like some of the stuff that's happened. You couldn't script it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
No. No. Whatever. People are always going to say stuff like that, right? No matter
We
what.
love all the comments. All the comments
is-
help. So
Yep.
It is wild. Every once, I feel like it happens maybe outside of baseball season, maybe once every 2 months. And then in baseball season, once every couple of weeks, where people are like, this guy's obviously fucking putting it on. It's like, first off, why do you give a shit? And second, we have a different experience because we've met you. It's like, no, this is like, also, if you could look me in the eyes, Brendan, you've watched me watch soccer before,
Yes.
right? I get just as fucking animated as Ryan does with baseball.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
like this is how people act without the cameras on. There just happens to be a camera on you sometimes.
Yeah.
dude,
Right.
if there was a camera on you and a week later you saw that, you'd be like, bro, chill. Like, you're overreacting.
Right,
It's ridiculous.
exactly.
Like, I look at my own Padres reactions and I'm like, God, that's annoying. Like, I can understand that. I
Yeah.
get where they're coming from. But it's also like, it's how
That's
I
what- that's what
react. Like, I
happened.
don't know.
That is just what
It is
happened.
what it is.
Right.
I'm doing that in my room by myself at 2 a.m. on a Wednesday. Like, I don't, that's not new to me.
Are you the kind of fan where, like, if you're watching on the couch and something happens that excites you, do you run up to the TV?
I jump.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Do I run up to TV? That's a good question. No, I'm usually so quick to get on Twitter. It's something.
Okay.
If I'm watching it by myself, I'm like, oh, I gotta.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely get enthusiastic at
Yes.
times.
Who was
'Cause
it?
I
Was
was
it
gonna
was it
say-
the Dylan Cease no hitter? Is that what it
Yeah,
was?
that one.
When you said we're going to the fucking world, when you screamed like that, I was like, I think he might be right. Like you convinced me. That's what I was thinking. Like, oh shit, they are really good.
I didn't even remember saying that though. I watched
Yeah.
the video to realize that I said
Well, but
that.
you
I
were
was
so
happy.
passionate that I was like, I
Yeah.
think he's fucking right.
Yeah. Yeah. And I almost was, man. We were
Yeah.
giving away, beat the Dodgers.
Yeah,
the whole
you really were.
thing, so whatever.
Yeah, it's not rehash.
Whatever.
It's
Let's
not
go to
rehash.
more fun things.
More fun.
More
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
More fun. Mr. Defensive Player of the Year in Blitzball Battle 5. How was that brought up to you to say, hey, Ryan, I'm going to use some choice words here. Just let me finish.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Ryan, we're going to have you play the least fun part of any warehouse sport. And come in here, throw yourself on the line, give you little to no glory. Some two fucking idiots on a podcast are going to say you're going to have no amazing plays.
I forgot we did that.
How would you like to do this? Now, obviously, I love playing defense. So saying it's the worst part was just for theatrics. But like when they brought this up to you, or were you even like, were you the guy, or were they just like, let's have an auto fielder? And you were like, fuck, I could do that. That'd be fun.
I think I wish I remembered a little bit better of how the action went down. I work really closely with Jimmy for my actual job. I
Right.
sit next to him. I talk to Jimmy every single day. And he had been throwing around this idea of a designated fielder. And I think he had actually, I don't know if this is public knowledge, but I think he had like offered it to a couple other people who were like, that sounds horrible. I don't want to do that.
Okay, so Peter's onto something.
I was like, yeah, why not? I don't know. It sounds fun.
Right.
And I'm not in the warehouse cup at all. So I was like, yeah.
Right.
The other thing, when I'm at warehouse tournament, being a fan for me is like not some chill experience where I'm just
We know.
go
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Right.
like I
Yeah.
go nuts, and that's like that honestly just a little bit more for the camera and like
Yeah, well, that
bringing
makes
energy
sense.
and trying
Sure.
to keep it fun. Like that is definitely part of it, and I do enjoy it. But that's exhausting.
It looks
to
like a
jump up
workout.
and down and yell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, jump up
But
and
when
down
you-
on concrete.
Yeah.
Great for your knees.
When he was like, "Do you want to be a fielder instead?" I was like, "Yeah, dude, that sounds fun." So, I think what I didn't anticipate, because we film depends on the day, but usually 4 games a day. Obviously, it's a lot of standing on concrete, and like it hurts your knees and your ankles, and if you dive, you're bruised up. Mentally, you have to focus on every single pitch.
Right.
'Cause when you're playing, you have to focus on obviously when you're in the field and when you're hitting, but you get sitting for some of the at bats, you're not paying attention to every single. Like if I mess up and I'm caught staring at the ceiling or looking at Chris Rose,
Yeah.
that's a bad. look
You're out
me.
there
So
for
I have
every
to-
single pitch of the entire tournament before playoffs.
Yeah, and it's mentally definitely a bit of a grind, but
And it was a new position too, so there's scrutiny on that new position as well from
and
the fans.
if I would argue impossible to play as many innings as I did and not make errors.
Right.
Which
Oh,
suck
yeah.
if you
Yeah,
never
yeah,
want to make an error. So I was just hoping there would be a couple of fun moments that I would look back on it and be like, yeah, I made that catch or I made that one play, and I think there were, and I'm very happy with how that
Yeah.
was. BB5, 4. What are we on? Was that 5?
That was 5. You just did 6.
We just filmed 6, which
Yeah.
I was also a designated fielder for, so I'm trying not to
I was
spoil
gonna
anything
ask.
there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I get
Okay.
That's not a spoiler, I don't think.
I was actually going to ask if they moved you into a different role or not. So good. Okay.
And if that is a spoiler, I might get in trouble.
Someone
I
does
think
need
the
a-
only thing
Someone just needs
that's
a
been
player, right?
spoiled is, I think that you're
Drew
not on
needs
hook
one.
line. That's the only thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I got nothing to say on that one.
Okay.
Oh, all right, and he puts the doubt right back in the universe.
No, I nothing to say on those teams and anything like that. And you guys will see very soon. I think you're gonna like what you see.
That's fine. I think one of my favorite moments from BB5, from the podcast perspective, was the episode where Brendan was like, "Do you think Ryan's going to make any great plays?" And I immediately was like, "No." and then you jumped in the comments of that video and you were like, "Thanks for the fucking confidence, guys." And then I think the very next game was when you made your first like incredible play. We said it. We said it right away. We said, "Well, we were wrong. Whatever." Let's
So
move
I
on.
did have someone send me that clip. I forget who it was, but someone was like, "They don't believe in you," and obviously we film ahead of time. So I was
Right.
like, "Oh,
Yeah, it
about to
sucks
see
because you
something
guys
cool,"
know
you
everything
know?
that happens. We eat our words.
If I didn't know it was about to come, I am not getting your comments in that case. But when I knew that there was a cool play coming, I was like, "Oh,
Ooh, the Blitzball boys, huh?
if this didn't come off clear enough." Entirely joking. I think it's
Right.
hilarious
Yeah.
that you guys talk about my warehouse sport anyway about it. So I have fun with it.
Yeah, absolutely. One of our favorite jokes on the pod. I don't know if you listen to any of like the episodes in full, but one of our favorite jokes is that we do the pod as if you guys are filming live. So we're like, well, we inspired him to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
I
true.
did see saw a slapball comment the other day that was like, I know that Shelby listened to me in the championship game, and I just wish he gave me some credit because he ran the exact. I was like, what, dude? First of all, if you think I have any sort of strategy going on in my head,
Yeah.
wrong. And like, second, we filmed this months. We filmed that before Christmas. Like that was so long.
Yeah. I know in Slapball, I know. I think they mentioned at the start of the tournament that you wanted to be like next tournament's #1 pick or whatever it was exactly. But how did you feel like you performed in this most recent Slapball? Did you like live up to your own expectations? I think you were named Offensive Player of the Year.
Of the year.
They didn't mention that. I mentioned that.
You did
I
mention
straight
it.
up said,
Okay.
yeah, I wanted to be. I felt like I was the fourth best player coming into this year, and I thought Diversis should have gone 1-1. Love Jimmy. Wasn't entirely sure on his strategy there after the first pick. I thought the way that Diversa played in some of the warmups, he deserved to be first pick, and I think with a better team around him, might have to be a smart pick.
Yeah.
And I thought Luke and Dalton are incredible, and I definitely felt like I was the fourth best. And then, no spoilers, but it's already out there, and I felt like I played pretty well. So
You look great in those shades.
You saw it ended up. So yeah. We had there was this narrative going on that we didn't have chemistry because we were walking around, and I think Jimmy pointed out a bunch of times that the other team would like group up and huddle and talk about what they want to do, and I was usually off in the corner, and Nick was over here, and Jolly was doing whatever. Like we were kind of always dispersed. We did talk a ton in between the games and talked about what we wanted to do. And Shelfie, it looked like I was going to fall to 4, had come up to me in the office a couple times and been like, who do you want here and what can we do there? And I was a little disappointed by the regular season because I thought we had a solid team, and then we turned it on in the playoffs, and I was really fired up about that because I love Slapball.
Man, you made Shelfie's draft look genius. And you made Jimmy's draft look like shit, which I guess it was at the end of the day.
I mean, Jimmy's draft looked like, let's be honest, it looked like shit from the jump. It was one of these ones where Jimmy had he ended up with the first pick in each round. And you're just like,
and those guys?
What? I do think Rourke would have helped him a ton because that
Just
was
one
the plan,
thrower.
was to have a real thrower.
Yeah.
Right.
And Diversa's capable thrower, and Jimmy can throw as well, but Rourke is a different level.
And Rourke, I think, figured it out a little bit more this tournament too, where like he had such a hard time with the line last season. I think he realized this season to be like, all right, I have a big like overstepping throw. I need to like go fucking like 10 feet behind the line so that when I have my follow through, I'll still be solid. And he has enough gas behind it, it'll be fine.
That's exactly it. Is the 2 feet difference for his, however fast it is.
Right.
Still fast when it gets to the goal,
fast.
even if he's 2 feet behind. Whereas for me, I'm a little bit more of like sidearm. And
you are
to,
side to side.
And,
right. You're trying to avoid the defender right in front of you.
I can throw it over. Right. So I get right up to the line. I feel like I have pretty good
like lateral.
a pretty good idea of where that knowledge or where that line is. Mm-hmm. So I don't think I crossed it this year. Certainly not often. But I need to get up to the line, and Rourke can just fire it from anywhere and score.
Yeah, from like inside the other goal.
Yeah.
But I love Dan Rourke, man. He is such a weirdo. He is so weird.
He is such a weirdo.
Bro,
I just love him.
We have been trying to get him on this pod for years at this point.
Luck, dog.
And
Good
it'll
luck.
be like, we'll write to him and be like, yo, Dan, you want to come on the pod? And he'll be like, fuck yeah. And we're like, what days work for you? Radio silence. So, okay.
Yeah. Is any of this edited, or is this what is out there?
That's going in.
All
I can if you
out.
want.
I got a
it.
very, very brief Dan Rourke story for you at the end.
Okay.
It's not bad.
I'll tell you when I'm done recording.
It throws him under the bus a little bit, and I don't want to do that to him.
Oh, okay.
I was making fun of him for it all day today, so it's not.
We get you. Actually, you know what? that we stopped recording. Wow,
Weird.
crazy. What you could tell us that
Editing
story right
machine
now
just
if you
broke.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing is done. This is all off the record.
On it?
No. We'll wait till after.
On me. Yeah. It's really not bad. I just don't want to like call him
Right.
out.
Yeah.
I get
He
you.
knows
I
what
get
it is.
you.
He's the best. I love Dan.
He's such a good spirit, that dude. I remember when we met him same day at the warehouse, and I mentioned that I listened to the podcast that he worked on, the David Cohen one. He's like, "No way, really, dude? That's amazing." He couldn't believe that. Like, so he was meeting a listener of the show he worked on. It's like, yeah, it's great. Like, I love when they let you speak a little bit and talk about your Yankees. Like, you like when I talk? I was like, yeah.
He's the definition of like he is not trying at all. He just
Oh, yeah.
is who he is. Like he's so much funnier than he realizes he is because he's just like
Just him.
to a fault himself. It's amazing. I
Yeah.
love that guy.
Yeah.
Pisses me off, dude. I can't stand him sometimes, but I love him so much. I love Dan Allen Rourke.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh man.
All right, Pete. I mean, you're only in a couple sports. I don't have much else on
Me?
blitzball, do you? Yeah.
Why'd you say all right, Pete?
All right,
I'm
Pete.
not playing in any of the sports.
No, do you have anything else as far as like slapball or blitzball goes?
I don't know, man. You're such a nice guy, Ryan. I kind of just want to like sit and shoot the shit
Just, like,
with you,
hang
but
out.
that's not like the best thing to listen to if you listen to a like you just sit here. I cannot stress enough how good of a guy you seem like you are. I really can't. Like there's times when we come on here and we do interviews with people and we're like, okay, this is business, right? You're just like just talking. You're just giving us
Joseph McFly,
conversation.
Business. Just a
Joseph
really rude
McFly,
guy.
piece of shit.
Piece of shit.
No, he's not. I love him.
He's not. Joseph.
just-
Joe's is great. Joe's is one of
you know.
my favorites.
If you're around me every single day, I tire on people too. I don't want it to seem like I'm just
Listen,
loved by all 24/7. But
listen.
no, we have a really good like it's an awesome environment around the office, and I think there are 55 people at the company or something like that. And you know, obviously you're closer with some than others. Like it's impossible to be best friends with 54 people, but
Right.
there's not a single person who shows up to work. I'm like, oh God. Like I'm genuinely excited to see everyone. Like I really do like the group of people, and it like what you see on camera is a sliver of the amount of fun we have throughout the day. And it's like it work hard, and there's a lot of time where it is pretty quiet around the office and it's people with headphones on and editing and doing their thing. But sometimes there's just a random argument about like Gardner's head or you know what movie was better in 2003, like whatever. Awesome. And then some like those arguments get so hot sometimes. I'm like, guys, like, chill. It's the dumbest conversation. But we have it's really incredible thing. Then I feel super lucky to be a fan of it now to get to be a part of it. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's some of my favorite stuff is like the behind the scenes kind. Like Jimmy always talks about how he needs to get more of that, whether it be warehouse stuff or just like in the office. Well, I love whenever there's like just people walking around the office and filming stuff. It's so funny.
Something we struggle with is like I've been working on this a lot because I try and get some behind the scenes stuff, but funniest moments are just you're talking with your buddy and you can't be like, wait, redo that for Snapchat or for the Instagram story. Like you know, or sometimes like you're in a good conversation, you don't want to break that up just to get a camera on it. So we want more behind the scenes stuff, and I don't think it would change at all if there were cameras rolling 24/7. I think we'd be the exact same people, but it's just hard to capture some of the like random funny comments or something that goes on throughout the day. That's how it goes.
On a much different level, that happens to me all the time at home. I'll be like doing a silly voice for my wife, and then she'll be like, and then she'll take out her phone, like, do it again. I'm like, no. And then she like tries to follow me around and like, do it again. Like, no,
that was for you.
That was for you. That's it.
Oh my God.
I have one more question before we settle up here, Peter. This is the fun question of the day.
What did you have for breakfast this morning?
What have you had for breakfast this morning? What is your go-to karaoke song, Ryan Cohen?
Oh man, I have a problem. Any song that I know the words to, will be singing along.
Fuck yeah!
It doesn't matter if I'm at work, in a bar, at a baseball game. I will be dancing and singing along if I know the words. Oh, my karaoke song is genuinely like any song I know the words to. But the last time I went to karaoke, I was with one of my best friends out here and my little brother when he was visiting, and we sang 2 songs. We sang 4 5 Seconds and Lean
Oh,
on Me. So little different
that the
vibe, but both
Rihanna one was
fantastic songs.
Kanye.
Yeah.
Paul
My guy
McCartney too.
Kanye,
Yeah.
yeah. That was a joke, not a Kanye fan. um,
Especially you just are liking him recently,
That is a
right?
good song. Yeah, no, last name's Cohen. Uh,
God damn it, Brendan! You might have to do some actual
It's
editing
fine,
on
it's
this
fine. We didn't
episode.
know
no,
supposed to
that's a
say
joke.
anything.
Not the biggest Kanye fan.
Yeah.
I literally any song I know the words to, I will be singing along annoyingly. So.
That's my favorite kind of like karaoke participant is someone that can help me, a bad singer, out when like I'm up there. I'm like, if I need like, another voice from in the crowd I can really benefit from that.
Help is a strong word there. I don't know that I'm helping anyone.
Well, just
but
it's like,
I'm certainly
it
singing.
muddles it a little bit.
Helping the vibes.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
What was the
I'll bring
what was the
vibes,
song?
yeah.
What was the song that you were dancing to at the Mets game? Was it Mr. Brightside?
Yeah, my guy Kev, also on the socials team, we were dancing to Mr. Brightside.
Nice.
That one I posted, but dude, City Field and I have a good relationship going right now. I was on that jumbotron
Really?
a ton. That old bring it all back. As a young kid, diehard Padres fan, I had this Twitter account where I tweeted into a total void for like 5 years. I'm talking like if I got 2 likes on a tweet, I felt like I was famous. And I, in high school, would go to Padres games with my friends. I started dancing a bunch, getting on the jumbotron, and that's where like I started getting attention for the first time. Was I had really long hair and I would nuts in front of 8,000 people at a Padres Marlins game in 2016, and get on the jumbotron, and then the Twitter account started to get a little bit of a following in the Padres world, and obviously it is what it is today. When I moved out here, I really missed Petco and I missed the Padres and everything, and go for the first time with the John Boy Media Group, to a game, and they're playing songs and I'm dancing. I'm like, oh my God, this feels so normal and exciting. And then you go to a Yankees game and they don't put cameras on anyone because it's the Yankees and it's the most cardboard, boring ass place in the world.
Whoa, unbelievable.
I'm just rambling now, but I moved out here. The Padres and the Yankees have no beef. I don't have anything wrong with the Yankees.
We gave you
Mr. Jones is like Mr. Jones, the dear friend of mine from childhood. I love Spencer. I'm like rooting.
That's cool.
I kind of want to like the Yankees. Like I love the John Boy Media.
Right.
They like them. They're right here for you.
Dude, they're so boring. They're so boring. And the Mets last year were so fun. With OMG and everything going on, and Citi Field is way better than Yankee Stadium, in my opinion. And
it's everybody's opinion.
No reason to like the Mets. Like the Mets are more of a rival to the Padres and the Yankees, but the Mets have become my New York team pretty quickly.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, as a Yankee fan, I've been to Mets opening day the past 3 years in a row. So what does that say? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but it's always a good time. Last year was the
it's a good time.
Seymour Wiener was that year.
Yep, Seymour Wiener was there. Yeah,
I was so excited to see him.
That's a perfect example of behind the scenes. We as an office just started cackling. Like we were. That was like I started like 2 weeks before. I was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. But you can't get that reaction. You can't get like the.
Right.
I have my phone out for the Mets national anthem. Like
you're not going to know it's going to be funny. There's no way to know.
And, oh my God, his name is what?
I had to know. That was really good. Yeah. Oh man, Yankees maybe they need like
good.
A sexy mascot like the Mets have too.
Nope, we're stopping you, Brendan. See, that's what you get. That's what you fucking get, Brendan.
That's what I get.
Unbelievable. You talk about this is 2 guests in a row now.
It's always really good timing too. It's always really good timing.
Did I do that? What happened?
I think so.
I don't know. I think that Brendan said something so unbelievably foul that it forced you to leave.
I didn't click anything. I was playing with my pen here, so I don't know what happened.
Same thing happened with Shelfie last week, where we said something upsetting.
Same exact thing happened to Shelfie.
Intentional.
All right. Well, Ryan Cohen, do you have anything to plug? Thank you for joining us here today. Of course, we loved every second.
No, dude, honestly, like we have so much fun, and I know it's like cliche and kind of lame, but like does not exist if people didn't watch it and commented and subscribed and like made it a whole thing. So I try and tell everyone I ever meet, like, thank you, like, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's crazy that I get to pay my rent because I do this dumb shit, and I'm very, very grateful. So, guys, anyone who's listening, like, supporting good people, and I hope you feel good about that. But we are also like really, really grateful, and we don't take it for granted how ridiculous it is that we get to do what we do.
Yeah.
That's so
We
genuinely sweet.
100%
That's
get
awesome.
that.
That's
See, this is
awesome.
what I mean, guys. When you see this, Ryan Cohen's a great man.
Great man.
He's very clearly a
Better
great
lover.
guy.
Yeah.
Or I'm just super media trained, and I actually hate all of you. And
Yeah.
it's all bullshit,
Media
and
trade. Guys, I didn't want to say this. He brought it up now, though. But before we started recording, he was berating us. It was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah. He
Brendan
scared
had
us
to
straight.
cry. It was nuts. He said, "You better say I'm a fucking good guy on this podcast." He's like, "All right, I'm sorry, all 50 people who listen to this." Ah! There it is. No
There it
joke.
is.
Ryan hates jokes.
Ryan hates jokes. We need to get him back here just so we can hear that Dan Rourke slander when he gets off the pod.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
Yeah.
all about that. We'll come back eventually.
Yeah, he'll come
I'll do my little. Or do you want to?
Yeah, Drink Salty is Drink Made by me. You can find it at thesalty.com. Use code HobbyBoys for $2 off your order. Hobby Boys is my other podcast, Malt Madness, starting up soon. Peter will be on there.
Starting up soon.
Starting up soon. Malt Madness 5. Get excited. 5 episodes in 5 weeks. Get pumped.
5 episodes in 5 weeks. Looks like you're muted.
And Peter, you're what are you plugging nowadays? I forget what your shtick is this year.
I think my shtick this year is intros.
Okay. No,
So
you
it's
don't bully your
nothing in
brother
the
anymore.
plugs.
Okay.
We're not bullying Matthew anymore. We're not plugging Andrew. We only did that one time. Kind of hard. The joke kind of goes stale when you plug a heart surgeon.
Fair enough. Okay.
Thank you very much
Thank you
for
very
listening,
much.
everybody. We really, really appreciate it. It is because of you guys listening that we get to talk to super cool people and talk about super stupid shit.
Yeah.
It's really a dream come true. Even though it's, not many people are listening, it's still fun when people do. We get a lot of comments, a lot more than I thought we would. And by a lot, I mean like every couple of episodes we'll get 2.
Pretty good.
But we talk with you guys. So if you want to leave a comment, ask us who you want to see on here. And if you want anybody, get questions in there. We will ask them the
good.
questions.
Good, Peter. Smart guy.
Beyond that, thank you very much for listening. As I said, follow us on the YouTubes. On Twitter, Brendan is Ruppy Puppy. I'm Peter Posk. You're muted, bud.
Oh, we'll
let him unmute.
We'll end the show and then we'll debug
We'll
this.
put
real
closed
quick.
captions. Ryan's doing sign language. Go to the YouTube. Watch him listen. Watch him do the sign language.
He loves you.
Thank you very much. Brendy, ask me the question.
Got anything else you want to talk about?
Nope.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Peace.